set to become the latest state to join an interstate compact for social worker licensure. The proposal is designed to make it easier for social workers to practice in new states. Proponents say the process of seeking a separate license in each state is time-consuming and inefficient and leaves communities with unmet needs. The state legislature passed a bill to join the compact on Friday. The National Association of Social Workers says 7 other states have enacted similar legislation, and the proposal is pending in at least 19 others.